Here's some big news coming in from the BRICS Summit this evening. PM Modi and Chinese President Xi Jinping will hold bilateral talks on Wednesday. This was confirmed by the Ministry of External Affairs. China on Tuesday confirmed that it has reached an agreement with India to end the standoff between the two armies in the eastern region of Ladakh. Beijing said that a resolution has been reached on relevant matters and that it will work with New Delhi to implement these resolutions. The bilateral is expected after the border thaw. Logistics are being worked out right now. Let's listen into the statement that has come in from the External Affairs Ministry.
I can confirm that there will be a bilateral meeting held between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping tomorrow, 23rd of October, on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit. The exact time and other logistics are being worked out, but the meeting will take place tomorrow.
After yesterday's announcement of a breakthrough between the two nations and what had happened after 2020, there were talks going on, but there was no breakthrough in sight. But suddenly, last evening, the Foreign Secretary announced that there was a breakthrough and there was an agreement about the patrolling patrolling rights on the pending areas. So now we were wondering whether there would be any meeting between Prime Minister Modi and President Xi Jinping, because both are here in the BRICS Summit. So now it has been confirmed just a few minutes back, as our viewers have seen. The Foreign Secretary himself has confirmed that there will, of course, be a formal bilateral between the two leaders, and this will be after several years. This will be very important in breaking of the ice. We had also asked the Foreign Secretary about the details of the agreement, and we've got some of it, which is like about the pending areas at LAC, where patrolling and grazing rights will go back to what it was in 2020 before the clashes took place. Apart from that, he also told us that the talks were going on for some time. For the last few weeks, there were intensive talks between the military representatives and the diplomatic representatives, and this breakthrough came quite early in the morning, and it was announced in the evening at the special briefing which took place about PM's visit for BRICS. So now it is confirmed that PM Modi would be meeting Xi Jinping, the president of China, and this would be a formal bilateral setup meeting. We'll have to see what happens in this meeting, what are the things they talk about, whether more details come out. But all in all, it is something very, very important, because India and China, two major powers, especially in the region, have not been in a good way for the last 4 years after the clashes. And our minister, the EM Jaishankar, had said clearly several times that till the situation goes back to what it was in 2020, there would be no thawing of ice in the relationship. So now it is there. We had also asked about the time frame when the agreement would be taking place, and the Foreign Secretary has said that there are several modalities which have to be worked out, but of course it will happen in entirety.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Tuesday conveyed to Russian President Vladimir Putin that India believes in peaceful solutions to conflicts. Referring to the Russia-Ukraine issue, both leaders met and hugged each other on the sidelines of the BRICS Summit. The summit of the informal group of states comprising Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, which constitute BRICS, is being held in Russia's Kazan. The BRICS Summit visit is PM Modi's second visit to Russia this year. Let's listen into him.
एक्सेलेंसी, पिछले 3 महीनों में मेरा 2 बार रूस आना हमारे करीबी समन्वय और गहरी मित्रता को दर्शाता है। जुलाई में मॉस्को में हुई हमारी एनुअल समिट से हर क्षेत्र में हमारे सहयोग को बल मिला है। रूस और यूक्रेन के बीच चल रहे संघर्ष के विषय पर हम लगातार संपर्क में रहे हैं। जैसा मैंने पहले भी कहा है, हमारा मानना है कि समस्याओं का समाधान शांतिपूर्ण तरीके से ही होना चाहिए। शांति और स्थिरता की जल्द से जल्द बहाली का हम पूरी तरह समर्थन करते हैं। हमारे सभी प्रयास मानवता को प्रमुखता देते हैं। आने वाले समय में भी भारत हर संभव सहयोग देने के लिए तैयार है।
Prime Minister reiterated that dialogue and diplomacy was the way forward to achieve resolution of the conflict. He briefed President Putin about his engagements with the Ukrainian leadership and noted that India stood ready to contribute in bringing peace to the region. With the support of the Russian side, a number of Indian nationals have in recent months been able to return to India. We understand that currently the embassy is pursuing around 20 cases with the Russians.
Now on to the state of Maharashtra, where polls are going to happen in less than a month from now as the battle heats up. There is a huge controversy over MVA seat sharing. The impasse continues. In fact, the MVA leaders met on Tuesday evening. However, no final decision was arrived at on seat sharing. Sources say no resolution has been reached on at least 5 to 6 seats. UBT and Congress are sparring over seats currently, and there is a great dilemma that's playing out currently in Maharashtra. There is no agreement over some seats in the Vidarbha region and some in Mumbai. The MVA leaders did meet on Tuesday evening to formalize a seat sharing formula, but no outcome has happened as of now. Maharashtra goes to polls on 20th of November.
क्या हुआ आज की बैठक में?
सब कुछ ठीक है।
कब ऐलान करेंगे?
सगाड़ी में सब अलबेल है, डोंट वरी। कल हम दोपहर को प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस लेकर बता देंगे।
सर, अमित ठाकरे चुनाव लड़ने वाले माइम विधानसभा
लोकतंत्र में सबको अधिकार है चुनाव लड़ने।
Now moving to a story from Bengaluru, a portion of an under-construction building collapsed in East Bengaluru after heavy rains. One worker was dead and 5 people were feared trapped under the debris. Rescue teams were at the spot. And several workers had been pulled out. 25 laborers were inside when the structure collapsed. It is alleged that it was originally supposed to be a 4-story building, but 2 more floors were built without permission with substandard construction material.
We will take strict action against the owner, the contractor and everyone. In entire Bangalore, I will make up see that we will come out with a decision where all such type of illegal construction are going on. We are going to stop immediately. I will conduct a big survey on this and we will stop all this type, and I will inform the concerned registrars also not to accept any transfer of property, such type of property which there are no plan sanction. So we will have to deal with this with the strict in the laws, whatever we have in our hands.
We are here right at the site where the building has collapsed. This is Babu Sapalia, which is in Bengaluru East, a 5-story building that collapsed at around 4:30 p.m. Could this be rain related or not is also something that is being discussed, because the last few days Bengaluru has seen incessant rains, moderate to heavy rainfall. Most parts of Bengaluru registering over 100 millimeter rainfall, and that is definitely a rain that has led to an infrastructure mess in the city of Bengaluru. As you can see, the debris, the leftover or the remnants of the building that has collapsed here, a 5-story building is what is collapsed, is what we hear, and the rescue efforts are on in full swing. Unfortunate that one is reported dead and around 5 of them are still trapped inside. A total of 10 to 12 laborers were reportedly found inside working on the construction work. This is an under construction building that is on, and as of now all eyes are on the rescue efforts right as we speak. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Bengaluru gets to its knees every monsoon, while some low-lying areas like Hebbal and Yelahanka are worst affected. The IT belt of the city, Mahadevapura, is also crying for help. Citizens are on the streets fighting for better roads and infrastructure to handle heavy rains, despite being the highest tax-paying assembly constituency in the state. Amid rain, schools would remain shut in Bengaluru on Wednesday, and IT companies have been advised to allow work from home. My colleague Pratibha Raman reports.
Is another gripping reminder of the pathetic state of pothole-ridden roads in Bengaluru. A differently abled woman in Varthur area near the IT belt Whitefield slipped while riding her bike and fell into a puddle of water. Fortunately, she survived the fall with minor injuries.
ನೀರು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ನಿಂತಿದೆ, ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಪ್ಪಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಈ ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ನೀರು ನಿಂತ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಜಾಗನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ.
Waterlogged roads connecting the IT parks of Whitefield to other residential areas nearby are adding to the woes of commuters.
That there is absolutely no space for a person to drive.
ಟ್ರಾಫಿಕ್ ಜಾಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ನೀರಿದೆ, ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ಅದರಿಂದ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು, ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅವರು. ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಹತ್ರ ಓಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇದು ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಈ ತರ ಇದು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ ಮ್ಯಾಮ್.
The onus is on him to drop the children to school on time. And imagine if this is the condition of the roads, how will he ensure that he does or fulfills his duty?
While clogged drains and canals cause floods in low-lying areas like Yelahanka and Hebbal every monsoon, deceptive deadlines for potholes are all that the state government offer.
We have set up a committee under the leadership of the DCM. We are going to talk to all the tech hubs and industrial areas that are creating the maximum number of employment and paying the highest taxes to see what civic communities that are lacking, whether it is telecom infrastructure, whether it's civic communities like drainages, power, water, everything.
With more rains predicted, the infrastructure mess in Bengaluru will get more exposed. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Now, Odisha and West Bengal are bracing for another cyclone to hit. Cyclone Donna is expected to make landfall on Thursday night, will bring winds up to 110 kilometers per hour. Residents of Odisha and West Bengal have been warned of heavy rainfall, high winds and storm surges associated with cyclone. Fishermen are advised to refrain from venturing into the sea due to hazardous conditions. Over 150 trains from West Bengal and Odisha have been cancelled. Landfall is projected between Puri and Sagar Island on the coasts of Odisha and West Bengal. A total of 11 teams of the National Disaster Response Force have been deployed in Odisha and 9 teams were deployed in West Bengal ahead of the cyclone. In response to Cyclone Donna, East Coast Railway has implemented comprehensive safety measures to protect passengers and maintain railway infrastructure integrity. Now, the counterintelligence wing of the Jammu and Kashmir Police conducted a major operation carrying out raids across multiple districts including Srinagar, Ganderbal, Bandipora, Kulgaon and others after the terror attack that killed one doctor and 6 workers. Security forces busted a new militant outfit believed to be an offshoot of the banned organization Lashkar-e-Taiba. After major terrorist attack on workers involved in the construction of key road tunnel on Srinagar-Ladakh road, government has decided to deploy security forces at vital infrastructure projects in Jammu and Kashmir to prevent any security breach. Neeta has the details.
Security agencies have rounded up as many as 40 suspects and are probing them, trying to establish who were exactly behind the Ganderbal terror attack case. Meanwhile, the investigators also claim that this attack was carried out by foreign terrorists, meaning the Pakistani terrorists who were already in the area, and that's the reason why they knew the exact layout of the area and also knew when the shift timing is going to get changed, and that's the time when they stuck. Also, the investigators are now clarifying that the statement of PAFF, which is another terror organization, Pakistan-based terror organization, which had claimed that the attack was carried out to stop army deployment in the eastern borders, as it was against their interest and even Chinese interest. The investigators claim that so far no Chinese link has come in the probe, only what the PAF has claimed. Other than that, there is no Chinese link so far. Also, they claim that today the counterintelligence Kashmir unit had carried out searches and raids in many districts, which included Srinagar, Ganderbal, Bandipora, Kulgam, Badgam, Anantnag and Pulwama. The raids were conducted on an organization called Tehreek-e-Labaq Ya Muslim, that is the TLM, which is a front organization of Lashkar-e-Taiba. They were also recruiting people. After these raids were carried out, the investigators claimed that this organization was dismantled. This is a big step, and this organization was being run by Baba Hamas, who is presently based in Pakistan. So the investigations are going in on three fronts. A, how to stop infiltration, fresh infiltration. Second, how to go on with this probe, and how, thirdly, the search and combing operations of the area are still going on. Meanwhile, the Lieutenant Governor and also the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir visited the area. The 6.5 long tunnel is a crucial link which is going to connect Leh to Srinagar Valley. So it's a very crucial link. The government sources claim this tunnel is going to be thrown open by the November end.
Time for a very quick break on the show. More on the other side. Stay tuned. Now, India's G20 Sherpa Amitabh Kant at the NDTV World Summit said PM Modi made the G20 more inclusive as he played a key role in including the African Union in the G20. He also spoke about the Global South's contribution to economic growth rate. Listen in.
Talk about the G20 process and digital inclusion. How has India offered not just our knowledge, but our actual digital governance models to nations of the G20? And how is that, the potential of that absolutely enormous? Let's talk about the Global South now.
So the only way, in the next 4 decades, according to both IMF and World Bank, 3/4, and it's very important because I see a lot of young people here, 3/4 of the growth in the world is going to come from the Global South. This year, if you look at it, IMF says that the global growth is going to be 3.2%. The developed countries' growth is going to be 1.8%. The developing countries' growth is going to be 4.4%. So in the coming years, all the growth is going to come from the Global South. And it's going to come from Global South because the demographics are young in India, Asia, and in Africa. The population is aging in America, the population is aging in Europe, but the population is extremely young in India and Africa, and therefore all the growth is going to come from here. Now, if all the growth is going to come from here, then you need the use of technology, you need the restructuring of financial institutions, both World Bank and IMF, the international financial architecture, which was designed for the post-World War II, has to be reconfigured for the Global South. And that is what India is trying to do. And in the G20, India's key role, the Prime Minister Modi's key role, was to make African Union a member of G20 and make this into G21. That was his key role. He made it G21. And by doing this, he took the G20. G20 used to be just 76% of the global population. He took it to 90%, making it very inclusive.